Kenny Rogers, from peanut butter nights to platinum lights, and the whispered promise that followed him home. Late on March 20th, 2020, a hospice nurse in Sandy Springs, Georgia, muted a small TV so the room stayed hushed. On screen, a 1983 clip of Islands in the Stream faded just as Kenny Rogers' hand relaxed in his wife Wanda's. 2 hours later, Dolly Parton's tear-flecked selfie video went live. I loved Kenny with all my heart, and my heart's broken. Streams of his songs spiked nearly 900% overnight, proof that even in silence, the gambler still held the table. A fed-up housing project? Kenny Ray Rogers arrived in Houston's 4th Ward on August 21st, 1938, the fourth of 8 kids jammed into San Felipe courts, federal apartments built for white families after black residents were pushed out. Rent, $5 a month. Supper, peanut butter sandwiches, cause that's all there was. He later laughed. Lucille's double shifts, Edward's bottle. Mom scrubbed floors as a nurse's aide. Dad swung a carpenter's hammer until layoffs and alcohol teamed up to break him. Kenny swore he'd never drink, terrified the addiction might be waiting in my blood. First family graduate. Walking across the Jefferson Davis High stage in 1956, diploma in hand, he looked up to see Lucille crying in the bleachers. It was a bigger moment than any future Grammy, he'd later say, because nobody in my family, even cousins, had ever done it. Poverty's toughest lesson stuck. When you start with nothing, every risk counts. Neighborhood debts repaid. Years later, after his first platinum record, he mailed a struggling former neighbor $20,000 with a note. Thanks for paying my rent back then. The quiet gesture became 4th Ward folklore and foreshadowed a career powered by fierce loyalty. Hard times etched the bluff on the gambler's face, but music would soon shuffle the deck. Doo-wop to jazz to psychedelia. His 1957 doo-wop single, That Crazy Feeling, charted regionally then vanished. Kenny pivoted to bass in the Bobby Doyle Trio, Houston Jazz Dives, Cigarette Haze, $5 tips. By 1968, he was fronting the psychedelic first edition, turning heads with Just Dropped In. Jimi Hendrix called it a favorite. Johnny Cash borrowed it for a TV medley. Too Old, at 38. When the first edition splintered in 1975, label execs scoffed, too gray-bearded for country radio. A Vegas lounge booker finally pulled him aside. Leave this 600-seat room, aim bigger, or get fired. Kenny walked, teamed with producer Larry Butler, and cut Lucille in 1977. It grabbed a Grammy, 2 CMA trophies, and kicked open every door that had slammed shut. The night Don Schlitz's song changed everything. In a Nashville hallway, Schlitz, then an unemployed computer operator, handed him a demo called The Gambler. For other singers had already passed. Kenny heard the first line, booked studio time, and 3 weeks later held a track that would sell 5 million singles, spawn 5 TV movies, and land in the Library of Congress. Crossover Emperor. Between 1978 and 1985, he stacked 24 #1 country hits, 3 Grammys, and a People/USA Today poll anointing him favorite singer of all time. The beard, the velvet jackets, the gravel-warm voice, Kenny turned Middle America's storytelling into mainstream gold. But backstage, the applause masked heartbreaks no encore could fix. Roll call of vows. Janice Gordon, 1958-60, daughter Carolyn. Gene Rogers, 1960-63. Margot Anderson, 1964-75, son Kenny Jr. Actress Marianne Gordon, 1977-93, son Christopher, $60 million settlement, the era's priciest country split. Finally, Wanda Miller, 1997-2020, twin boys Jordan and Justin. Why the marriage is cracked. Kenny confessed in Memoir Luck, or something like it. Music is a demanding mistress. I became selfish. Ex-wife Marianne agreed. Career panic hit like a midlife crisis. You can't share a man with 200 tour dates. Father at 66. Kenny and Wanda originally agreed on no kids, but when she turned 31, she changed her mind. He worried about missing graduations yet agreed, because I didn't want her to resent me at 50. The twins arrived in 2004, and older siblings say Dad's sideline cheering at Pee Wee football was something they never got. Plastic surgery regret. In the early 2000s, he chased a more youthful look with cosmetic eyelid work, later telling CBS This Morning he totally regretted it. Eyes are the window, and I kind of painted mine shut. Tabloids had a field day, and Kinney used the episode as a cautionary tale during fan Q&As. Love cost him millions. Vanity cost him photographs he'd never retake. But bigger battles were still ahead, this time measured in courtroom columns. The Chicken War. With KFC ex-CEO John Y. Brown Jr., Kinney launched Kenny Rogers Roasters in 1991. Rotisserie chicken, hickory smoked ribs, cornbread muffins. A rival outfit sued for $10 million claiming stolen recipes. Roasters bought the rival outright but couldn't outspin fried chicken giants. U.S. stores folded by 1998, though 200-plus branches thrive in Southeast Asia today, trending on TikTok for their OMG mac and cheese. Digital royalty showdown. By 2012, downloads had replaced discs, but contracts hadn't caught up. Kinney sued Capitol Records for $400,000, arguing his 1977 paperwork guaranteed 50% of non-disc profits. The suit, filed alongside similar claims from the Allman Brothers and Sister Sledge, spotlighted billions in missing artist income and became required reading in music business classes. Fake news estate rumor. In 2020, a Facebook meme claimed Kinney left half his estate to fund Trump's campaign. Snopes debunked it within hours, but not before the gossip racked up 80,000 shares, proof that in death, the gambler could still move headlines. Courtrooms drained energy, philanthropy refilled it. He headlined tornado and wildfire telethons alongside Dolly, Reba, and Alison Krauss, helped MusiCares fund health insurance for touring crews, and hosted the Kenny Rogers Classic Weekend, celebrity golf, basketball, and three tennis at Beaver Dam Farms, raising millions for the Red Cross throughout the 90s. We were so poor growing up, I remember neighbors leaving bags of clothes. How could I not pay that forward? He told a 2014 CNN town hall on disaster relief. Still, the camera sometimes healed him more than charity did. Gambler on screen. The Gambler morphed into 5 TV movies, 1980 to 94. Kinney's homespun poker sage earned an Emmy nod and a generation of catchphrases. Know when to hold, went from lyric to dorm room poster. Six-pack and NASCAR cameo. In 1982, he played a down-on-his-luck driver mentoring 6 orphans, a film that still circulates among NASCAR crews. Through the Lens. A 1984 Christmas gift, private darkroom lessons with Ansel Adams' protege John Sexton, turned a hobby into a second career. Exhibitions titled Through the Years. Kenny Rogers photographs of America toured museums in 2023 to 24, showcasing civil rights leaders, rodeo clowns, and fog-draped Sierra Peaks. Critics once snarky about singers with cameras admitted the shots were shockingly, hauntingly strong. Competitive tennis nut. Road crew lore says Kinney traveled with rackets and challenged local pros before sound check. An archive tour memo notes, if you beat him 6-0, expect a rematch tomorrow. Then, as knees stiffened and the beard silvered, he retreated to a Georgia spread that felt worlds away from Billboard charts. 900 acres of calm. Bought in 1987 near Tiny Colbert, Georgia, Beaver Dam boasted a 20-room lodge, an 18-hole golf course, equestrian center, recording studio, trout pond, and guest cabins named after hits. Kinney hosted Easter egg hunts with neighbor kids and once flew Dolly in for a surprise ATV race that neither would confirm publicly, though tire tracks told the tale. Smitty, the therapy goat. In 2008, guitarist Chuck Jacobs gifted him a snow-white pygmy goat. Kinney called Smitty my center, feeding him baby carrots at midnight to ease post-show insomnia. Farmhands swear the goat recognized Lady and bleated on the chorus. Selling the memories. After Kinney's passing, Wanda listed their Sandy Springs mansion for $2.475 million, noting the bittersweet sale allowed her to reset somewhere that doesn't echo. The Wall Street Journal reported a 32% profit over the 2019 purchase price, proof the gambler's touch lingered in real estate, too. But even Beaver Dam's stillness couldn't slow a body worn by 20 million tour miles. Final tour, final rumors. The gambler's last deal launched in 2015. By spring 2018, dehydration landed him in a Georgia hospital. Contract language for the remaining European dates simply read force majeure health. Social media invented dire diagnoses, but Kenny's voicemail to a Nashville pal settled it. Tell the gossip mill I'm too stubborn to quit breathing. Hospice and hymns. In March 2020, COVID-19 sealed churches. Hospice nurses lit a single candle while Wanda and the twins sang Amazing Grace. A neighbor texted Dolly mid-evening, "It's time." She recorded her trembling tribute at the kitchen table, posting before dawn. The candle burned out, but the charts lit up once more. Sudden streaming renaissance. During the week after his death, the gambler cracked Spotify's global top 200 for the first time. TikTok surfaced teenagers line dancing to Coward of the County, proving Gen Z could still two-step given the right bass drum. Dottie West promise kept. Kenny spent 27 years lobbying Nashville to induct duet partner Dottie West. In 2018, frail but beaming, he typed a sunrise Facebook post from the bus. Mission complete, old friend. Posthumous album. In 2023, Wanda curated life is like a song 10 unheard tracks, including a 2009 Dolly duet and a lullaby for the twins called Catchin' Grasshoppers. Producer Tony Brown remixed vintage vocals until they felt like Kenny walked back into the booth. Fans crashed vinyl pre-orders in 2 hours. Twin sons speak up. Now college sophomores, Jordan and Justin told Taste of Country the best advice Dad left. Dream big, but count the cost. They plan to finish school before touching the stage. The Traveling Photo Show. Through the years continues touring museums, bridging fans who know the songs with visitors stunned by the pictures. One critic wrote, "You can see the rhythm of the gambler in the way his shadows fall," which leaves one last hand to play. Kenny Rogers was many things. Boy hauling soda at the Rice Hotel, jazz bassist with pennies in his shoe, gambler who coaxed pop audiences into country shag, carpet studios, businessman who lost a chicken war and laughed about it. He confessed regrets, 5 divorces, eyelids he wished he'd left alone, but spent his final decade exactly where he wanted, a porch swing, a pygmy goat at his feet, and 2 boys asking, "Dad, what really happened on that train with the old card player?" His reply, according to Jordan, "Son, sometimes stories teach better than facts. Just don't forget to cash in your chips before the table gets cold." Which Kenny Rogers lyric still deals you the winning hand and why? Drop it below, tap subscribe, and let's keep the story spinning.